Great night for Arsenal then. They are top of that Champions League phase table with 6 wins in 6. Absolutely fantastic. They are 6 points ahead of 9th place Liverpool. British teams doing quite well, of course. Liverpool, as I say, in 9th, Tottenham in 11th, Newcastle in 12th after that draw today. Leverkusen and Chelsea are in 13th. Well, let's hear from the Arsenal boss then. Mikel Arteta has been speaking with Liam.
Miguel, congratulations. 3-0 away from home, clean record in the Champions League. What impressed you most by your team tonight?
Well, we know how difficult it is to play in the Champions League and to win away from home, and especially when we have that many players out, it makes the task bigger. But I talked to the boys. It was about showing how much we wanted, the resilience, and how we prepared. And I think there were some great examples. For example, Christian Norgard, which is a player that probably prepares the best out of all of them, and is somebody that makes all of us better every single day. And who needs to play in any position, any condition, whether he plays more or less minutes, his attitude is always immaculate, and that's a really good example for all of us.
On more or less minutes, the 2 goal scorers today come in, show their worth again. It's going to make your job a little bit harder if they keep scoring goals. Yeah,
the fact that we have now the attacking players back, I think both of them, Noni and Gavi, were outstanding today. The level of threat they give, the 2 finishing are spectacular. And then as well, obviously, Gavi Jesus back after 11 months and this so difficult journey that he's been through with all of us, and to see him perform as well in the manner that he did, really, really positive.
Yeah, there was a lovely moment at the end of the match. Gabriel Jesus, he looks quite emotional. He was getting hugs from members of staff, teammates. How good is it to see him back? Because those long days when you're injured can be tough, can't they?
Yes, especially, you get the injury, everybody is at you, you get the surgery, everybody is fully behind you, and then there is a moment that you are alone almost, and you have to go through a lot of pain and difficult moments and uncertainty. He's done that a few times in his career, and he shows his mental toughness, how much he loves to play football, and we're all delighted to have him back.
When things are going as well as they are in the league, in the Champions League, does it come with a different set of challenges to manage the expectations within the group to make sure that you can continue this run?
Now it was about managing, again, the amount of situation that we had in the backline, because as well some players were there, but they could not play more than 45 minutes or 30 minutes. And to manage that it's been tough, but with the attitude that the players have, I know that if I ask anybody to play there, he would do it, and they've done a great job.
Okay, congratulations. Safe trip home. Cheers.
Yeah, it's about creating that structure, isn't it? It's about creating that mentality of all the players, as he said, when he wants you to play in whatever position that you come in and play. And he has been managing a lot of injuries in this team.
Yeah, we were counting there off the break, seven players out, I think it is. And,
yeah, senior players.
And senior players, yeah. First team players that would probably start in any big game that he would have. So again, he's managing that. But again, going back to what I said before the break, it's about the squad of players he's built over the last 3 or 4 years. You know, you would struggle to find a stronger squad in Europe. I really think that in all departments. You know, Madueke there comes in for Saka tonight, scores 2 goals, gets man of the match. Martinelli on the other side scores. And again, Zubimendi was involved, a couple of assists from him. You know, players like that are so important to this group. I mean, it'll all depend what happens at the end of the season. They're on a really good pathway at the minute. And again, they've had so much, I suppose, negativity thrown their way when they finished second 2 or 3 times in the Premier League. You know, not got the semi-final of the Champions League, and they're called the nearly team in inverted commas. Until they get their hands on a big bit of silverware, then it'll probably flow after that. You might see a few years of dominance from Arsenal because this squad is strong enough to do that.
And, you know, as a group, you'll be so desperate to kind of get to that next level, wouldn't you? And even with all the new arrivals, everyone has seemed to assimilate very well. And it feels that, as you were saying before, they're all singing from the same hymn sheet. They all know what the brief is for this season as well. And it's just creating that squad harmony and that unity. And despite having those selection dilemmas, it feels as though mentally that they're on the right track in terms of as a group. They're all very united.
Yeah, and I've experienced it easy to create, and you do have understanding when people aren't playing. But you've only got to look over at Liverpool. You know, obviously everything last season, everything was coming out beautifully. This season, few cracks, lose a few games. That's when you see how people react, how players react, how they interview. And that's so important for Arsenal, because you know the pressures will come if they don't win consistently. But like we say, it's not about that right now. They've been excellent. They've built a really good squad. People coming in, they're contributing. Excellent, like I say, but they will have their moment. It's how they react when they have that moment.
Yeah, well, the first reaction was tonight, and they got the victory after defeat at Villa a couple of days ago. They have Wolves at home on Saturday. That one's live on TNT Sports, and Saturday evening, actually, an 8 p.m. kickoff for that one. You would probably assume by Wolves' awful run of form, very unfortunate at the moment, that Arsenal, particularly at home, can do very well. Then they travel to Arsenal. They've got Crystal Palace at home, Brighton at home, Aston Villa again at home, which will be an interesting grudge match, and then Bournemouth away. Any of these fixtures worry you at all?
Well,
Shay?
the Villa one jumps off the page because what happened just at the weekend gone. I know it's a close sort of come around, a few months in between the fixtures, but I'm sure Arteta's team talked before that game, although they done us in the last minute. But what it did sort of like from an Arsenal point of view, I know they didn't like to lose in the last minute the other day against Aston Villa, but the players' reaction, Raya, Rice, all the players were literally collapsed to the ground and they were banging the floor because they knew how important it is to get the job done, to stay in this, you classed the unbeaten run, 18 I think it was, but that's gone now. And now it's about, as I said before, there'll be bumps on the road. It's how they respond, how do they react as a group, as the manager as well. He's got to keep the lid on things, even after the Aston Villa result. He's got to come in the next day, be bubbly, be fresh, go, let's park that to one side. It's all about Club Brugge now, and then now it's all about Wolves. We have to just keep that sort of momentum going throughout the course of the season, and there will be bumps along the road, but there's a blue big lorry coming behind them in Manchester City in the Premier League as well, only 2 points behind them, and they've not hit the heights that we know Man City can hit as well. So in the back of these players' minds and Arteta's mind, that will be a concern as well.
Either in the Champions League, even though they're very, very much in a good place, but certainly in the league, as you say, that big blue lorry is coming at them. Only a couple of points between them. Yeah,
of course, and Man City are always going to be there and thereabouts, and by their own standards, I think they'll be disappointed with this season, but they're coming into it. Big result out in Europe tonight. They've had a few close scares, probably too many goals conceded at the moment. They can tighten things up at the back. They look a real threat going forward.
What a goal. And then he got a complete contrast to the first goal. And that's what you want from your attacking players. Can they score all sorts of goals, but especially these goals. The long range one won't happen too often, but he's got to make sure as a wide player, he gets in at that back post and he couldn't miss.
Couldn't miss?
Couldn't miss, and he didn't miss.
We've had some great goals tonight though, haven't we?
Yeah.
Especially in the women's with Leon, but this one from Martinelli is outstanding. Look at, wowzer! Bends it into the top bag. Look at the bend, the precision. The keeper has no chance. 3-0, the Arsenal.
The Arsenal. Wow.
It puts Arsenal top of the table as well, still right up there in first, Bayern in second, PSG third, Manchester City in fourth.
No worries. Calma. Table time tonight. Going to be lovely.
Yes, we're looking forward to a special edition.
Oh, we've got something special tonight.
Yes, you did. You're into the
Liverpool have just seen dropped out the top 8.
Oh, yeah, but you got to be there at the end. That's the most important thing.
Yeah. Actually, a little bit, Joe, I want to ask you again. You know, you've been part of winning sides. You know what it means, and Shay as well. You know what it means to put a team together to go through the hard times and come out the other end. And Arsenal have come out second best for a couple of seasons now. And a lot has been levelled against them in terms of their mental fragility. And I just wanted to know your thoughts on whether the side that you're seeing now looks like a side that could actually potentially go all the way now.
Well, I think they're a quality team. No doubt they've got quality players. And it's not necessarily their mental fragility, it's just the powerhouses that they've been up against. We saw in recent seasons how City, when it comes to showtime in March, they've just been able to put their foot down and just relentlessly win games. Liverpool did it last season, obviously not so much this season. And Arsenal, just in those big moments, they've always looked quite good recently over the start of the season, but credit to them. They've had some really good results and some really good performances. But tonight's important. You have to bounce back. You are going to lose, simple as that. Like, you are going to have these moments. Even the great teams through the leagues have had to take punches on the nose, but it was a good one tonight, changing the team up a little bit. People have come in, done well. They've got, like I say, Jesus coming back. Feel good going into that Wolves game.
Yeah, and that's the key, isn't it? When you can change your personnel around and still get the result, it means that the foundation is so solid. And this is what Mikel Arteta has always said, trust the process. And it feels as though that is where they are right now.
Yeah, but he has spent a lot of money as well. He has spent a big number on a squad, probably one of the strongest squads in Europe. And they should be competing on all fronts, they really should. And they should be able to make lots of changes like tonight, whatever it was before the game, and still win the game at Club Brugge. The thing for me is Arsenal, we're in December now. Can we talk about Arsenal in March, April, when it comes down to the home straight? Can they get their hands on this silver, be it the Premier League or be it the Champions League, because I think this squad and this team and this manager are good enough to do that. But it's the psychology of the whole thing. Can they get across that final hurdle? There will be bumps along the road. There will be, defeats like Villa last weekend. They bounce back tonight. But when it comes right down to the wire, I think Fergie called it squeaky bum time. When it gets to that home straight, can they get across the line?
Well, this is the test for them, isn't it? And we saw them, as you say, with that defeat at the weekend, ending that 18-game unbeaten run, and they had the perfect response tonight, and some really beautiful goals as well. Let's start with Madueke, who scored first, and this was 25 minutes. What a run, what an individual performance from him, Joe.
Yeah, good ball into him there from Zubimendi. As he takes it on, he's only got one thing on his mind, to cut inside. I think just as it opens up for him, it's such a good hit, such a good hit. It's unsavable. Van den Heuvel came in tonight. I think he was a late replacement for Simon Mignolet, but no one's saving that. Excellent. It's such a good moment. He's been on the kind of fringes of things at Arsenal. That's a great goal.
That's what I'm talking about, the score, but they rested Saka tonight and he spent a big number on this guy, and that's a phenomenal goal for him as well. Remember last season, if Saka doesn't play, Arsenal are not the same.
Yeah.
When you got somebody like Madueke to come in, I don't know if it strengthens them, but they've got big competition for that position now as well.
It's an incredible reinforcement, and actually end goal for Arsenal. Then he did score his next one, which we will see in a moment. But it's almost like London buses, isn't it? You wait for your first goal. And all three come in the Champions League. He scored one against Bayern last time out, scored the opener tonight, and then he scored the second as well. This one probably not as magnificent as the first, but you'll take it.
Zubimendi got an assist for the first, which I don't agree with, but this is what I call an assist. If you watch the ball from Zubimendi, this is world class. And keep an eye on Madueke. We've let him up inside the box because he's actually playing nearly as a second striker next to Gyökeres. I think the young goalkeeper makes a bit of a mistake. If you keep an eye on him, he takes a couple of steps forward as Zubimendi crosses. Then he's in no man's land, and it's a simple header at the end of the day. But when we're talking about assists, Zubimendi wraps his foot around that brilliantly, and Madueke's like, I'm not going to miss from a yard out. It's a brilliant night for him.
And there he is, man of the match, so deserved as well. And I think we hinted at it at half-time that it's inconceivable to think that there was that small section of Arsenal fans that were so against him joining because he was coming from Chelsea. But that is a quality player who's probably taken a bit of an unconventional route to come to this level. But for coming from the Dutch league, actually, even though he started his career in England. But, it just shows that there's a quality player in there. He just needed the right home, the right place at the right time.
Yeah, well, Mikel Arteta put his neck on the line, no doubt about it, getting it from Chelsea. Believed he'd be an integral part of his squad, and nights like tonight are proving that he's very, very important.
Yeah, absolutely right. Well, let's hear from Noni Madueke, man of the match tonight, as we saw, with 2 goals as well. Here's alongside Liam McDevitt.
Noni, Champions League, 2 goals, player of the match. They don't get much better than that first one, do they?
Yeah, no, I just want to thank God first and foremost for giving my team the victory. The first one was really nice. Second one, tap in, but that first one was sweet. So happy, delighted with the result today. So really good.
It feels like every time you play, the goals might not be coming, but you're direct. You're still showing that you want to get on the ball, you want to take people on, and you show it for that first goal.
Yeah, no. I think the bare minimum I need to give to my team is threat. They need to give me the ball and think something can happen, and then obviously trying to score and be as decisive as possible. I feel like that's the next level I need to get to in terms of being consistently decisive for my club and my country. And I think I can reach that level. Just keep working every day.
Your squad showed your depth today. Injuries, illness, difficulties, but everyone who comes in shows that they're at the level to start for Arsenal. What about the environment is making it easy for whoever comes in to show the level?
Yeah, we're tight. I feel like that's the main thing. Like, we want each other to do well. We know that there are loads of minutes for all of us. We know that we have top players everywhere in the squad. So it's about all of us as a collective. It's not really about any individual, and we know that we all have a part to play. So that's a good thing about this team.
All forwards want to score goals. Is that what you needed tonight, just to get that feeling of hitting the net again? Because it can become a habit once you get one, can't it?
Yeah, no, for sure. Last Champions League game I scored. Nice to get another 2 today, and hopefully bring that form into the Premier League.
6 wins out of 6, top of the Champions League, top of the Premier League. With results becomes expectation. What can this team achieve this year?
Yeah, I feel like we're fighting on all 4 fronts. I feel like we can compete on all 4 fronts, and obviously I feel like we can win this competition. I feel like we can win the league as well, and that has to be our aim. And I think we're we're in a good place at the moment. We just keep going.
Noni, well done. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, man of the match performance from Noni Madueke there. Very humble, isn't he? Comes across really, really well.
Yeah, yeah, he spoke well. Very much bought into, like I say, what Mikel Arteta's brought to him. There's no doubt there was conversations before he came, and he's fully in. He was brave enough to say that their aims are to win the Premier League. I love that.
Yeah.
But they're doing all the right things at the moment.
Yeah, they certainly are. Well, he scored an absolute stunner, and so too did Gabriel Martinelli as well. Shay, this was a fantastic one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I mean, very individual. I mean, there's a competition, probably the two of them in the dressing room.
Brilliant pass from Lewis Scully there.
Brilliant assist there, Joe. But again, a fantastic individual bit of skill from Martinelli. I mean, you said before the break that's consecutive games he scored in. Now it's just 5 games consecutively. But CK, the defender, probably could do better. He knocks it inside him, and then at that point, as a goalkeeper, thinking, "Oh, shoot, I'll save it. Shoot all you want from there." But this is the perfect angle here, Rash. Look at this here. Starts a couple of yards outside the post, and the keeper's got absolutely no chance. It's a brilliant goal from Martinelli, and again, another player competing for the starting 11. That's the biggest problem Arteta has. He's built this amazing squad, but there's so many players to fit into 11 positions. That's his biggest headache.
Absolutely, and Martinelli himself as well. So many seasons now at Arsenal, and he's had to wait for his opportunity, and he's still not getting a run in the starting 11 sort of regularly, is he? But he's still there and performing, and that's the mark of his professionalism as well.
Definitely, and he was interviewed previously saying that whatever minutes I play, I'm looking to really achieve for Arsenal, and Madueke just said exactly the same. Yeah. So everyone's singing from the same hymn sheet, which is what you need for success.
Yeah.
Arsenal's 3-0 win over Club Brugge was more than just another group stage result. It was a complete display of control, confidence, and clinical finishing. From the first whistle, Arsenal looked sharp, organized, and fully aware of what was at stake, finishing the Champions League group with a perfect 6 wins from 6. The breakthrough came when Noni Madueke produced a brilliant solo moment, cutting inside and firing a stunning long-range shot into the top corner. That goal settled the nerves and forced Brugge to open up, giving Arsenal more space to operate. Early in the second half, Madueke struck again, this time with a precise header after excellent build-up play. That goal killed Brugge's momentum and allowed Arsenal to dictate the tempo. Just minutes later, Gabriel Martinelli added a third, curling a powerful strike from outside the box, a finish that showcased his growing confidence on the European stage. Behind the goals was a disciplined team performance, controlled possession, solid defending, and smart rotations despite several injuries. Even when Brugge pushed forward, Arsenal's backline and goalkeeper stayed composed. In the end, Arsenal won because they combined individual brilliance with tactical maturity and proved they are genuine Champions League contenders.